Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. There was an argument about gummy bears downstairs, so we're gonna try to get back to it. So yeah, so we set the stone on the primary edge, rock it up to that secondary, so the angle of the secondary bevel. And I like using the circular. Circular will cut faster. If you just need to bang out an edge real quick, it's gonna cut a lot faster than just a straight cut. So we're just going to work this edge. Because it's a slipstone, this corner can get up inside here. You can either kind of do it, like I say, we'll set it on flat and go up inside. We can kind of clean out some material there, like so, and that's just thinning out the very bottom of that. It's trying to clean it up, like so. Cuts pretty fast, we say, and then you just check it. I feel like I'm getting a pretty good burr. Where I didn't really get was that corner around, and then I just like to hold the stone like so. Just try to go that same angle. You can do it, set it down, rock it up on that edge, because it's eventually just, you kind of want that to transition to be one big transition and not like any kind of stops or chips or anything like that, or any kind of, you kind of want that bevel to be the same bevel all the way down for your curls. And again, like I say, I don't get mine crazy sharp. They will get pretty sharp. They're a really nice blade, but I don't use mine kind of in that. So just sit down, rock it up onto that edge to get my fat thumb out of the way, and just come down. If it's hard to get that, I'll flip it like so. And then just sharpen along here real quick. Show everything, okay. So I've removed it. So this side was same paper, this side was whatever, it doesn't really matter. If you want to do it one way one time and another way a different time, it'll still get you to where you've got a pretty decent edge. This is just a pine spoon that I was messing around with. It won't actually be a spoon, but you can get these edges pretty sharp enough, you know, for me. So we'll move on to the last one. This is probably the most expensive option, but it'll last forever. Again, I would recommend throwing a marker into the mix and just marking out that edge. Here's a little handmade pouch. I got the kit from Hobby Lobby. So, but it's not anything special. It's just about 4.5 inches deep, inch and a half, about an inch and a half wide. And I just keep these tools inside. So I'll go over these kind of as I go. And this is a really good set that, like, if I was going somewhere and I needed like a kit and I was gonna be using this a lot, might do a lot of carving tasks, these will get a pretty fine edge on there. And this kit will last an extremely long time. So I'll go through who makes it, and then what I use it for. So this is a Easy Lap diamond rod M. I'm not sure if there was any. There was a you know, a small, medium, and large. I'm not sure, but this is M. So you unscrew the barrel, like I say. This is a really nice thing. I think everybody that has a tracker that they want to use in the field should have one of these. If you want to carry one tool, this is pretty good. Like, this is really nice, but also it is breakable. If you get water inside of it and it froze, it could crack and break. That you're not really going to do that. And this kind of does it all, but it doesn't do it the best. So, like I say, if you're going to sit down with an edge, I like the sandpaper. You can put a beautiful polished edge on it. I think that's a really good option. If you want to take something that just goes out in the field, you just want something to toss in your pocket. It doesn't weigh that, it costs that much. This, I think the last time I checked was like, I think $30 or $40 just for this part. Where this is, you know, $5, $10, something dollars a piece. I don't know, sure. Anyway, so if you lose them, this costs almost nothing. 15 bucks, and then if you split it up per paper, I don't even know. This one is, I think, is about $40 just for this, but it works really nice. You can, like I say, you can just go down. You can almost use this one like a sharpening steel and just kind of clean it, this edge like so. A lot of people have these that have trackers. because it works really good. 1095 isn't super hard. It's got a pretty good edge on it, like saying you could also use it if you were so inclined to use it like a sharpening steel, like so, and then you can kind of draw up an edge real quick. But these are really nice. They last for almost ever. Next one, part of this kit, I'll speed up a little bit because I don't know how much time I'm on. This is what was a ceramic dog bone sharpener from Lansky. And it has like a blue or red ends on them. I pulled those off because I found them annoying, and they made it much bigger than it already is. It's for when you're holding it like this and going back and forth, but I didn't like it. I just thought it was a waste of time and space, and so I pulled them off. But I also had this, and I was seeing if it worked, and it does. If you have this, use your brass rod, you can actually slide this up inside, and it stays in there extremely well. Like I can pull it out, but like you can shove it in there, it gets kind of stuck in there. Then you can kind of use it again like a sharpening steel, like so. You can use it just to sharpen up an edge. Or you can use it the other way, where you're just freehanding it the opposite way. And come in, you can work on that quarter rounder a little bit to get your fingers away from the edge. I like it better than the dog bone thing. And like I say, it's kind of removable. So pop it back out. Like I say, I think they're around 800 to 1,000 grit, which is a really good grit, in my opinion, for 1095. Anything past that, I mean, you can polish it up pretty high. Like I got some 2,000 over here. It's kind of overkill, just my opinion. And then here is a this was a Lansky insert for their Lansky sharpener system. Comes on like a little piece of plastic. I don't remember what the color was. I think it was green. It goes with their guided sharpening systems. This is just the stone off of it. Years ago they used to be pink, but now I think the ceramic, the 1K or whatever it is, it's that same color white now, but they used to be pink a long time ago. This works out really good for your flats. Like I say, we'll attack it the same way. Put down there flat, rock it up to the edge. So it works really good for flattening out that edge. And then like so. You can do the same thing here. So with this set, it works pretty good for that. This is a easy lap pocket two-sided hone, I guess. So I forget what the grits were, but one was a rougher grit than the other one was. And this removes a pretty decent amount of steel. And again, you can kind of use it like so. Touch up the edges. You can use these in the corners, so you can see. My hand's in the way, but you can use the edge. So it doesn't have any abrasive on the sides. It's just on the faces. But you could run it up into this crack. Like use the edge, flatten it down, and then scrape up into that. You can do that with this stone here also. Set it down, rock it up on that edge, and then I'm putting it on an angle. This angle here. And then going up that edge. Okay, hopefully I demonstrated that and you can kind of see what's going on with it. This is just a piece of wood. A piece of wood can show me a couple things. So when I get done sharpening, a lot of times if you don't have a strop or a field strop ready, you can take a stick. See if I can find a. So I just got done sharpening, and you see these slash marks in it. You can kind of align that burr. You see all that gunk that just came off? That's Sharpie marker. It's abrasive, depending on what kind of abrasive you use. And it's also steel. It's also a burr. So what happens when you drag through here like so, it aligns it straight and then pulls off any of that excess. If you ever sharpened before, you might end up with a really sharp burr. Use a little bit and then it comes off. So a lot of times I'll just use a stick and I'll just go along the edge like so. Try to clean off any of that extra junks on the end of it. And when it starts to look where it doesn't have any more like the black sooty crap in it. And you pretty much got it sharpened and ready. They're talking to the dog, sounds like. That means you pulled off the burr. Like say, I keep mine X-like sharp, but there's that. So this is my small kit. And then stropping is an extra way to kind of add. So if you didn't want to use this, just want to use strop. So this, like I said, this is my, I built this from a kit, but also leave a lot of my knife sheaths unfinished on the edges. And you can use a knife sheath, a leather, decent, like going away from the cutting edge, and kind of strop them. So you can use that here. Some of my other knife sheaths, and you can put some like sharpening compound inside here. You just got to be really careful to sharpen it that way. Here's one of my first knife sheaths. It has a finished edge, but it's finished with beeswax. You can kind of hear it pretty loud, so that one wouldn't work real good. You can use the edge here, strop. You could put some kind of sharpening compound on it, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can get it all over your pants. Here's one of the neck sheaths that I was making. I popped a stitch, so I got to restitch it. But I just like, here's an unfinished edge. And stacked leather like that works really, really good for just stropping. I mean, I suppose you could put some kind of compound on it, but typically don't. And yeah, so hopefully I was descriptive enough for sharpening. Again, 3 different types of way: sandpaper and a Sharpie or a stick. This piece of stick came off of one of these paint brushes. Just got done using it. I got stuck. I think I had clear coat or something in it, and just pulled it off, and there's the stick. That's where the stick comes from. So again, so there's a couple different options for sharpening. I say this is the cheapest. This is probably the second cheapest, and this is probably inexpensive. So I forget how much this is, probably about 20 bucks. This is 30 or 40, I can't remember. That'll run you about 20 bucks. I think this was right about 20 bucks. So that small kit right there, and it's well used. I use that a lot when like that. That's when I'm going to actually sharpen for. I'm going to use my knife for a long time. When I actually sit down and plan on sharpening, this is what I use. This is what I use just to kind of polish it up and touch it up, and then this is what I use for field sharpening. Now how far we're running into here? Got 12 minutes in. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up. So, like I said, I've had and used mine for a decade. One of the things that I help to keep my edge in tip top is I actually cut the primary edge. So what I mean by that is, let's say I just got done sharpening my knife and it's all good. It's all sharpened up. Once I get the edge on that I want, I will actually take one of these stones, or just a normal sharpening stone, and work this primary bevel. So I just lay it flat on the primary edge, like so, and just clean it a few times. What that does is it polishes the shoulder between the primary and the secondary edge. There's a shoulder line. It polishes that, and it polishes this, the transition line to stock thickness. So when you look at your knife edge, like every time you sharpen it, you're bringing this side down and you're bringing this side down, and you're moving back into the steel. All right. Hope I'm being descriptive. So this primary grind, you can see it's just pretty obtuse, but it comes down to an angle. The angle here will get thicker as you sharpen back. So as these edges drop back in to the primary, this part of the edge gets thicker and thicker and thicker, because this is ground here, and then they go to the secondary grind and grind again. So after I get done sharpening, like I said, I come in and just work these a little bit. Not a whole bunch. So if I take if it takes 10 passes to sharpen my edge or to where I want, I'll put 10 passes on the side. That's just how I do it. And what that does is that maintains this. This is getting thinner as this edge gets thicker. what it does is, say you get like a 20-degree edge, that'll make sure that that 20-degree edge still stays around 20 degrees and it doesn't get wider and wider and wider the farther back you sharpen it. So like I say, I just do it both ways. So I sharpen this side, or I'm sorry, I sharpen the edge. Let's give it like 10 good passes, or just 30 seconds or something like that. It's not a lot, just a little bit here and then, and just do a cleaning motion. Same thing, set it on that primary grind off that edge. This knife has really thick bevels. This will keep you where you don't have a lot of problems. So if you'll see where it kind of took out the primary, over the years mine's kind of gotten closer, but you see I just took off that edge right here. They're the shoulders, I'm sorry, shoulder here and shoulder here. And that's just how I've always done it. It seems to work pretty good that way. Same thing down here. We just got done sharpening this. And then I would take my stone and just clean up them shoulders a little bit. And that's going to give it much easier time sharpening and not getting a super thick edge. If this thing was sharpened a lot, I could be all the way back up into here, and that's really thick steel. So while you're thinking about it, while you're working on it, this is just something I do to prevent and to set me up to where, you know, another 10 years from now, 5 years from now, I don't have a super thick knife that I can't. It's already thick enough, doesn't need to get no thicker. Like I say, just clean that up, work a little bit here. And I hope you can see, I'm just taking that shoulder down from the stock thickness and the secondary edge, or shoulder, secondary shoulder into the primary, and then I've softened this shoulder too. It gives you a much better transition. Like I say, I usually do it with that, but you can also do it with this type of setup. Just clean it. I would almost use the diamond and just take some of that shoulder down. Doesn't really convex it. It's not convex. It's just it kind of softens the shoulders and gets you prepped for the next time, I suppose, you sharpen it. But you can do it like that. Like say the diamond or any flat diamond. Just drop those shoulders. Same as this. Let me grab a 400. Like I say, exercise caution. Don't hurt yourself. Get something that's flat. Get your piece of paper. Grab something that's flat. Like I say, I don't do it with this often, so I don't even really have anything for the kit for dropping the edges other than that. So again, just set it on top of there. Just soften those shoulders. It'll help going through stuff a lot easier because it's not getting stuck on a shoulder. I haven't seen any performance difference for splitting. It'll still split like a beast because it's a 1/4 inch thick and it comes to a sharpened edge. But again, like, there's a couple different options. There. So now it's all strapped up. Still see a little bit. And, you know, so that does pretty decent. Check out the edge out here. Sharp enough. Let's see if I can get any small curlies. No, not on that side. This is not really good on the spoon, pine spoon. So again, let's see. This is a piece of Osage orange. Typically a hardwood. See if I can get some curls off of it real quick. And some small curls, and then we'll just check the cord around her. So again, that makes small tender size curls. See if we can see the corner around her. Just be careful. So we got some longer curls. Okay, and then we got some, there's a cottonwood spindle. Forgot to write on it, and so if we're using it for bushcraft style stuff, it's good. Okay. I don't know what else to really say in the video. That's how I sharpen my tracker. If you have any other ideas, post them in the comments, but that's 3 ways that I sharpen my tracker. Again, I don't keep mine super razor sharp. I keep mine sharp enough as a tool. But hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, comments, put them in the comments section. Also, I'm on Bushcraft USA. Just if you want to PM or whatever, ask me some questions so everybody doesn't have to see it. That's cool. All right. Have a great day. Peace.